Time now to know what's on the front pages of the Nigerian newspapers. And joining me to discuss this is Chartered Accountant and Public Affairs Analyst Sheson Ukwande and lawyer and social development advocate Tunji Abdulhamid. Gentlemen, good morning. Thank you for joining us on TVC Breakfast.
Good morning, Vero, and thank God it's Friday.
Thank God it's Friday, yes.
Thank you for having me.
All right, let's head straight to the papers now, and I begin with the blueprint. CNN goofed on Lekki bloodless, bodiless massacre. Federal government is speaking there. And now we move to the front page of the Daily Trust. Federal government CNN trade words over Lekki shootings. Purveyors of fake news deceive the world. Lai Mohammed reacting. Yes, there was a press briefing yesterday where the Minister of Information was reacting to the CNN report. We'll be looking at that story shortly. All right, we'll quickly move now to the front page of the Daily Times. Federal government threatens CNN over Lekki shooting report. And to the Nigerian pilot now, hashtag answers casualties. Federal government says 57 civilians, 37 policemen, 6 soldiers killed, 196 policemen injured, 164 police vehicles destroyed, 134 stations razed, 8 prisons attacked, 1,957 inmates freed, 31 members of staff injured, as CNN says it stands by its report. Now to the front page of the Nigerian News Direct. Lekki shooting, FG to sanction CNN others over report. 43 security operatives among 100 killed during hashtag NSAS federal government will stand by report, CNN. And still looking at the Lekki shootings, the front page of the Vanguard now, outrage as federal government threatens to sanction CNN. NBA SANS CSOs flay government. We stand by report, CNN responding. Says DJ Switch, not wanted, but no law stops federal government from probing anyone in Nigeria. Ads will regulate, not shut down social media. To the front page of the Nation newspaper, post hashtag NSAS, 100 killed, 269 assets burnt, says government, 6 soldiers, 37 policemen among dead. CNN stands by Lekki shooting report. And on the front page of the Daily Sun now, NSAS, the federal government CNN fight over Lekki tollgate killings. No protester died. Lai Mohammed, we stand by our report. The cable network responding. And on the front page of the National Economy, auto firms reject federal government's plan to reduce import duty on vehicles, say policy would be disincentive to auto plants, increase unemployment. And finally, on the front page of the Leadership newspaper, the Nigeria Police Force states consolidates community policing. Grassroots police officers commence work in 36 states, 774 local government areas. Federal government to redeploy 9,694 constables to villages. Benue Delta Taraba screen applicants acquire equipment. Gentlemen, let's look at the story that is almost on all the front pages of the story this morning, talking about the government's reaction to the CNN report. We would recall there was a press briefing, a press conference by the Minister for Information, Lai Mohammed, yesterday, where he talked about the fact that the incident on Tuesday, that fateful Tuesday in October, was a bloodless and bodiless massacre, and he's looking to sanction, that is calling for a sanction over CNN's report. Says that it is the work of purveyors of misinformation or fake news, if I may use that word. I need to get your reaction, gentlemen, to this, and I'll begin with you, Sheson.
Thank you very much, Veronica. I listened to Minister yesterday when he was reacting to the CNN report, and it's quite shocking to me the level at which we respond swiftly to some of these things. Fine, I know he's out there to defend the government, but if you look at the steps in the process of this NSAS since 20th of October, you discover that we've been having counter reports. It started with we did not. The army came out and said we were not at the Lekki shooting. Thereafter, we heard them saying, okay, no, yes, we were there. We didn't use live ammunition. We were called upon by the Lagos State government. Lagos State government, no, we don't know who actually operated that. We had scenarios of the light was shut down. You see, when there is inconsistency and communication gap between the governed and those that are governing us, these are part of the things you hear, and you give room for other people to take advantage of it and do what is. But for me, what CNN has done, highly reputable organization, they must have carried out their investigation. And let's give this to the international world. The level at which media is going this day is beyond pen and paper. There are GPS coordinates to monitor things. There are cloud computing these days of everything going on via Google. You'll be shocked. You know, there were traces of how the army left the barracks, the route which they followed, until when some of these things were made revealed. That's when we started seeing the army coming out. So the government started with lies with us. I must say this, because the report they were given at the initial stage were not coherent for us to believe.
I'd like
until we started seeing some things that started bringing out some truth. They failed us by telling us that they were not there.
I'd like for us to be careful with our choice of words, whichever we want to express ourselves.
So the fact remains that they did not give us the correct, let me say, they did not give the citizen the correct information, in the sense by saying we were not there, until a report came out giving the trace via the Google of how the army moved from their barrack to Lekki, and that was when they owned up and said, okay, we were there. But it was on the instance of the Lagos State government. So this looks like a script that one of the actors was actually missing out to follow the right thing and is destabilizing the whole whatever. But I think our government owns us to communicate the right thing. If anything has gone wrong, to err is human. Let's come out, apologize, and move on, because the devastation this has caused the populace is much more than what even they are giving as account of the losses they are recording. That's just on the part of the government. But individually as businesses, we have lost a lot because the government was not responsible to what it was supposed to do at the right time.
All right, let's get your view to this now.
I want to also say, look, our government will just want to respond to issues without verification of findings. And when you don't do that, you give a contradictory report. You recall that when that thing happened, it was the second day or Sunday that the government said it's fake news, that they were not, the military men said they were not,
they were not there.
And they were putting fake on all the news that was out at that time. I'm very sure there was no any investigation carried out before those positions were made. So, and that's what's happening now. The CNN has given his report. He did not just give his report. He gave his report after thorough finding, according to them, thorough finding and careful.
But the government is saying that some of the visuals they used were some of the visuals that even people had debunked on social media.
People, who are those people that debunked it? They are giving their own video. Let the government also compile their own video and give it to us. And look, contrary to what CNN has done, this is the correct thing. That's what I expect them to do. Not just to be telling us, you see, the truth is that whether we like it or not, whether we believe it or not, there was shooting at that place. And probably people, one or two people might have been caught by those gunshots. Yeah, exactly. So there's no doubt about that. But we're trying to cover that up. And that's why we are having what we are having today. People are trying to cover the fact that, look, somebody died. The governor of Lagos State initially said there was no death. Thereafter, he said there was one or two. So what are we talking about? You see, let's just, like you said, let's just say, okay, the error has been committed. This will not happen again. We apologize, forgive us, and whatever, and we'll move on. Or it may attract international penalty for some people thereafter. Maybe that's what they're trying to avoid now.
No, so the UK has come out to say that it is looking to sanction. Make some sanctions.
The ICC is also waiting.
The ICC is also talking about its own, perhaps is looking into it as well. That's what the ICC is talking about. The UK, in the paper that we reviewed yesterday, is looking into bring about sanctions, and is going to do that November the 23rd. And, the CNN report, so many issues coming up. But if we would get to the root of this, is the major issue for a lot of persons, because there has to be closure whether we like it or not, for a lot of persons who recorded one loss or the other. You would recall that after the Civil War, a lot of persons, even up till now, are saying that not much has been done to ensure that the healing process, or that there is healing for people who felt the pinch of that Civil War. And now we have this again. Do we really understand the impact that this is having if we really want to go the path or toe the path of healing, reconciliation, ensuring trust, and that justice is seen to be done?
I'm a very young guy, so I didn't witness the World War.
But history.
But we read through the history.
Yes.
And like you said, some people are yet to get out of that problem. In fact, that was what brought some people down. With this that we experience, COVID to end SARS and all those things, businesses are down. See, some of the things, I keep saying this, that the trust deficits on the part of the government and the people being governed keeps widening day by day.
And we are seemingly not making efforts to close that gap?
On my own, the government are not. Look at it. Come to think, during the COVID, we all heard about palliative. We saw several videos that was government came out to debunk too.
And then we now saw the looting.
You understand? So you discover that trust deficit. When the panel of inquiry was set up, some of the youth were called, with good faith. Initially they were like, we will not be part of it because it's like government is looking at who and who to get hold of. But on the long run, people persuaded them that if you don't give a listening ear, who are part of the people that, okay, go there, air your view, let government know the reason why you're there. What did we get after that? People's accounts were frozen. People were being named. They were being called terrorists. This is people coming together to emancipate themselves. And government is clamping on them. That again, I listen to some people and saying, if your family were killed in the process, come out. Who will want to come out? When all you do is that you try to give a bath, and thereafter you clamp on such people and issue threats. It doesn't work that way. Everybody, day by day, keep losing confidence in the government that we all worked and we all labor to bring into power. This must be corrected. Like Barrister said, I was not expecting a swift response from government. All I was expecting from them is put your own report together, share that to the populace. Let's now start saying which one do we pick. Okay, government has put this position in place. Okay, this is my government. I have to believe in them. But you are just coming to talk to us. Just mere words. Without verifiable facts. But CNN has said, okay, we do this. We use the Google map. We trace this. We trace
geolocation.
Bring out your report. You don't need to talk. The report will speak for itself. And people will definitely have confidence. But with this, well, I don't know where it will end. But I can tell you that this that we have experienced, like some people saw my status, 2020 is a year of great records of a lot of devastation on the populace. And government, some of the things that CBN are putting in place, majority of the people are still not enjoying it. Businesses are dying. So we want a situation, because, and this will take me to what we keep saying, do we even have the right database to carry out some of the things that we say we want to do? That is the fundamental problem we have. So if you're saying that you want to resuscitate people back to their position, I take it with the tax people. We pay tax, but we don't have record. They still slam a lot of us on some of these things. Please, government should go back to the drawing board. I'll be good at. I was expecting that at this point, there will be tax relief or tax refund for those that are actually paying tax. But do you know what goes on? The tax authorities are still after us. On paper, they will tell us you can defer your payment. What are we deferring? You are shifting from January to March, March to October. Now we are hearing December 31st. But you are still telling me that I will pay the money. But
And
we
these are the things that are widening that trust gap.
Of course.
Between
Why
the
did you not
people
make contribution
and the
to the
government.
profit account? Otherwise, you'll have been enjoying that benefit now.
Why will I make when I'm still struggling?
There's a
to survive?
financial bill now for those people.
Let's focus on the issue here now. So many unanswered questions. with regards to the Lekki to Gate issue that happened October the 20th. So many unanswered questions, and a lot of Nigerians are wondering if we will ever get to the root to understand the truth of what happened that day. Yes, there are panels across the states, but some Nigerians still do not believe in the panels because they say that over the years we have had panels sit. What came out of it at the end of the day? But then something has to be done. As it stands, how does the government move from here? Because it's also talking about regulating the social media because it believes that a lot of the mayhem unleashed across the state, which a lot happened in Lagos, is as a result of what happened, the kind of stories, the misinformation that went on social media.
You see, we cannot have, I don't want to use that word, I'm trying to look for what to use. We cannot have peace or even the truth, as you said, because until we are ready to tell ourselves the truth, to be sincere, and do what we are supposed to do, that's when we can get...
what is the truth and what are we
supposed to do? The issue is that when a government will be in office and will not give people proper information as to what is happening, they will either tell you the other side of it or you even keep quiet as if nothing is happening. So until we tell ourselves what is right and what is wrong, until the government will open up and say, look, yes, I hear in this area and I apologize for that, not to just look for what to use in covering up what has happened. You see, the issue of a panel or whatever that is coming out, I am one of those who believe that, look, that panel cannot, the only benefit that can come out of that panel that I know is that one or two people will be giving compensation. When I say one or two people, few Nigerians will be giving compensation for brutality or whatever. But that you will see anybody that will be sanctioned for Lekki or whatever massacre or whatever, or what they call it, shooting, massacre, shooting or whatever they call it, I tell you, there won't be anything in that regard. You won't see any concrete. And again, why I don't even believe in the panel is that, look, when the panel is done, you have to submit its recommendation to the government. Yeah. The government is being alleged of being part of this crisis. What do you expect?
So that was
what do you expect? So I don't believe. It's not as if those who are the composition of the panel or the people, the character of the people in the panel are not doubting their character, are not doubting their ability to do what they want to do. But the panel has the power to impose sanction on anybody. But
the people have the right to bring the government to account, to hold the government to account.
How do we do that? We have not been able to do that. We are where we are today because we are not able to bring our government into account. Our government see themselves as alpha and omega. They see themselves as you are untouchable. That when you ask questions about government activities, they see you as cabal or they see you as anti-government. They are not ready. Asking for accountability in this country or transparency in this country is an offense to those in government. They see it as affront. So you see, until we know that government is to serve people, and that those in government are not better than those who are not in government, they are just opportunity to be there. And we only donated our right and power to them to run the government for us. Not that because all of us cannot be there. It's not as if they were whiter than us or that they have that brain more than those of us who are not in government. So their responsibility, until they know that their responsibility is not to rule over us, but is to do what we want. You see, we are talking about social media regulation. When the government has a policy, and people are saying, look, we don't like this policy, we are not interested in this policy, you either leave the policy or you resign if you believe in it. It's not about saying no-go area. We are not going to step down on it. Okay, what is even the social media regulation they want to do? Because as far as I know, as a lawyer, there is enough regulation of social media.
Absolutely, there are so many laws.
So I don't even, I'm even waiting for them to roll out their regulation they are talking about, so that I will see what they are talking about. I will see whether it will be new. And that's the mistake that we always make in this country. Whenever an issue arises, we talk about let's make law, as if we don't have
existing laws.
If you don't have a new law in the next 50 years, we have enough law on ground in this country that the only thing we need to do is just to maybe amend
to
meet those things, the current things.
While we are in now. So the issue of want to regulate social media, maybe the regulation of social media as far as our government is concerned, maybe it's about giving them power to sanction anybody they will like without fair hearing.
Because
that's what they will, because I know there's a law on ground that criminalizes giving false information.
Absolutely.
There's a cyber crime that talks about giving false information as well. There's defamation of character, libel, and everything. Everything is there. So you can, if you feel that you have been given, you have been slandered or you have been defamed by virtue of a social media or whatever, you go to court and pursue it. So I don't see why the government should be eager to say there are other things to be done by the government. People are suffering. The essence of government is to provide welfare and security.
Yes. And
I'm not seeing those welfare and security being provided by the government. As far as I'm concerned today, things are getting worse as far as I'm concerned. Things are getting worse as far as I'm concerned. Things are not moving the way it should move. As government is somersaulting the policy. The government policies are the borders were closed, land borders, because they said they want to improve the local content. Recently now, 1, 2, 3 people are being allowed to. They say they want to encourage local content. ASU introduce UTAS. I mean, what do you call it again? Yes. They say no, they must go by US IPPIS. They said they want to. They want financial relief for certain vehicle importation or whatever. Yes. And when they say we have people who are into vehicle. Rather than encourage them, you are. So there is a policy somersault as far as I'm concerned, and contradictory policies which will not make the country grow. These are the things the government should be looking into, not issue of social media or whatever. The Lekki issue, as it is today, is an attempt to bury the truth. And until we are able to tell ourselves the truth, that's where we can get relief from this Lekki. I'm not expecting any better result from Lekki.
Quickly. Vero, I want to say this. You said, how do we hold the government accountable? One of it was just answers. What the youth were actually asking for is that, please, can you make the police better, give them good welfare, reorientate their mind, and restructure? That's just one segment. And what did we get out of it? They shied away from the truth, and they were like going around. But some would say the government says it agreed to is the 5-point demand they made.
Promise agreement.
Yeah, promise. I promised to marry a lady, and you are not in my house. Have you fulfilled that? No. So I can promise. We have so many promises that are being broken day by day. So that they give the promise
that the government made is not something that happens overnight. It is for us to have to watch. Some have said.
What are the steps that they have actually put in place to make sure that
perhaps that was the missing gap?
So the missing gap is still there. And we will not have confidence in them until you put the steps and people can see. Not just even putting it. We see the implementation of it. That people start saying, this that happened, no, we are seeing the impact, we are seeing the impact. There are a lot of documentation that people do on daily basis and make on the table of some of our leaders. Where do we get to? That thing stands there and it ends there. And after 4 years, we go back to the drawing board. The only policy that moves faster are the ones that are back with financial gains. The individual know that once we are able to push this over, it will work. But this must stop. Nigeria are asking for accountability. That is the essence why we voted this government. Transparency. Let there be trust. Build the trust. And it must start from the start. The level of insecurity, Vero, we can't discuss it. You can't move around, even in this our state. At night.
Yes.
It's difficult these days. Then where do we go from there? Now you bought your car and you are moving and people are just smashing it. The whole area is taken over by miscreants. It's quite disheartening that on daily basis, what happened on Monday and Tuesday at Mile 2 and Ikeja, where you see a police officer that is supposed to enforce law running for his dear life. Very.
So much has been said, and we do hope that we see that justice is done at the end of the day with regards to this issue. Thank you, gentlemen, for your time on the program. Sheshan Okwade as well as Tunji Abdulhamid.